Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this Smackdown breakdown and review. It was a big episode this week. There was so much to go through, so many things that you need to know about. Here you can see Sami arriving and he is looking dapper. He is looking fresh. He's tidied up the beard, tidied up the hair. This was meant to be a big night for Sami. It didn't quite turn out that way. But certainly at the start of the show, there was a lot of excitement as the Bloodline arrived. Then we went to our first match. This was for the women's tag team titles. It was Damage Control taking on Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox. Here you can see Bayley grabbing Tegan. She goes to throw her into the barricade, but Tegan actually reverses it. It's Bayley that goes over into the crowd. And then a mystery person kicks Tegan in the head. This would allow Damage Control to retain, and we were left wondering, who is this mystery person? Certainly for the first part of the show, during the watch-along, people having a lot of fun trying to figure out who this mystery person was. We would get an answer, and this answer was thanks to an online social media video that WWE put out that showed Xia Li was the person behind that mystery attack. So that mystery person, I think they were named on the show as well. I think Xia Li was named during the broadcast, but we actually saw the footage on social media. So Xia Li was the person that attacked Tegan Nox. Then we got this moment, which was pretty big, and this really is dividing opinion. So basically, we had LA Knight get kidnapped. Obviously, the video of that was doing the rounds before SmackDown. During SmackDown, we would be shown that, but then we would see that LA Knight had managed to get free somehow. I don't think that was ever explained as to how he actually managed to escape or if he was set free or what actually happened. But he went into the ring, he called out Bray. Bray came out. They started fighting and LA Knight was doing really well. I don't know if Bray was even fighting back, to be honest, but it was all LA Knight. And then on the screen appeared Uncle Howdy. And Uncle Howdy said, little pig, what have you done? Let me show you something really cool. And out stepped Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy walked out into the arena whilst Bray was in the ring. Now, this is obviously significant. This was a big moment. This is something that I think if you're really into this story, you're going to be really into this segment. If you're not into this story, I don't know that there's anything here that's going to bring you in. This is a nice little swerve, potentially. But it's hard to know how much of a swerve it is. I was saying this during the watch-along. Like, this could be something massive, or it could be nothing at all, because that could just be someone that Bray has got to dress up as Uncle Howdy so that it fools the fans and it fools LA Knight. And everyone now starts talking about it's Bo, it's Vincent, it's Dutch. They start speculating as to who it is, only for it to still end up being Bray Wyatt. This could just be an actor. This could just be someone that Bray has gone out and gotten to dress up as Uncle Howdy. I did say in my other video at the time, the Bray Wyatt one that went out on the Wrestling Daze channel, don't forget we've already seen actors, if you will, dress up as Mercy, as Ramblin' Rabbit, as The Fiend, as Abby the Witch. We saw all of these characters brought to life at Extreme Rules. So we know that there are people that can play these characters. And so it's not out of the realms of possibility that one of those or just an extra backstage is playing the part of Uncle Howdy here. So I really don't know. This could be huge and it could be proof that Uncle Howdy isn't Bray. But equally, it might mean nothing at all. So it's really got me conflicted, to be honest. I'm really torn as to how they're taking this story forward. Best thing really is to keep an open mind. As of right now, that's what I'm doing. But if anyone was to ask me, who do you think Uncle Howdy is? I still think it's Bray. I still think it's Bray. The voice sounded like Bray. The body type looked like Bray. I actually think this looks a little bit smaller than the Uncle Howdy that we've been seeing. It's hard to gauge, of course, because of camera angles and everything. So it's hard. It's really difficult. It's really hard to know where this story is going. So I'll be very interested to see what we get next week. Next week's show is being taped, but I don't think the Bray segment will be spoiled. I think that will probably be a backstage segment. And so that backstage segment won't be seen until next week. There are people saying if you look at how Uncle Howdy holds onto his jacket, it's very similar to how Dutch holds onto his jacket. The only thing I would say about this is, do you remember everyone was saying that Uncle Howdy was Bo because he was wearing that earring that was similar to one that Bo wore in the past? Now people are going to start saying that this is Dutch because of how he's holding onto his jacket. Like, this doesn't prove anything. What I think this is interesting. I think you can look at it and go, oh, maybe, maybe there's something there. It's nothing more than that. As I said, for me, I'm still leaning towards Uncle Howdy being Bray. Then we go to our next match. This was Gunther against Ricochet. The crowd were crazy into this, really into this. And, it was, you can see they're on their feet. There was a lot of energy. People really thought Ricochet was going to get it done. Gunther retains. They then start beating up Ricochet, and Braun makes the save. Braun Strowman comes down and makes the save, and we would find out that there would be a match made for next week. Then we went backstage, and Roman asked Adam Pearce to come and see him, and this was interesting. Pearce came in, and basically Roman said, I want to do a match. I want it to be me and Sami against Kevin Owens and a person of his choosing. Don't know why this needed Adam Pearce. I suppose he's got to sign it off. Roman can pretty much do what he wants, though. So it was kind of interesting to see him talking to Pearce about this. That match has been made. It was being floated, the idea of it happening at the Rumble, but they've agreed to do it on December 30th. December 30th, SmackDown. It's going to be Sami and Roman versus Kevin Owens and a mystery person. We would find out that mystery person at the end of the episode. We also found out that tomorrow is Tribute to the Troops. This is one that doesn't tend to get shown in the UK. It's 2:30 Eastern time on Fox, though, so there is a special Tribute to the Troops that's going to be shown on Fox on Saturday. Then we went to this match, and this was quite the moment. So this was Legado del Fantasma taking on Hit Row, taking on the Viking Raiders. Winners would go on to get a tag title opportunity. And this was Top Dolla launching himself over the top rope. He gets caught on the top rope, then comes crashing down onto the edge of the ring. Doesn't really make contact with any of the guys on the outside. Michael Cole is like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, you've got to be kidding me. And then as soon as he botches, he goes, oh, that's why he doesn't do that move very often. Then there was nothing else Michael Cole could really do. He couldn't really make out like that had gone well. It really is one of the botches of the year. And he made such a big deal out of it as well. Seeing Top Dolla like really getting fired up. He was looking at the crowd. As soon as he runs over to the ropes, gets caught on the top rope, just flops down. It really is one of the best botches of the year. But it would be Hit Row that would still go on to get the victory. So that means that next week, for the undisputed tag team championships, it's going to be the Usos taking on Hit Row. Backstage, we would see Ronda and Shayna taking down Raquel Rodriguez. She was backstage getting a little bit of treatment, and these two would come in and start attacking her. We found out that there would be a gauntlet match next week. Winner is going to take on a Ronda for that women's championship. So Xia Li, who we know has seemingly turned heel, Sonya Deville, who's a heel, Liv Morgan, Tegan Nox, Raquel Rodriguez and Emma. There's a few little interesting stories going into this. Of course, Raquel wants to win. She's just been beaten up by the champ. Tegan Nox is going to want to get her hands on Xia Li. What happens if it's going to be Liv versus Tegan? There's some really interesting matchups that can come out of that Gauntlet match next week. Also, we found out next week it's going to be Imperium against Ricochet and Braun, of course. That following on from what happened earlier on the show. And then we went over to the main event, and the main event was Roman coming out. Roman said tonight was going to be a big night for you, Sami, but not anymore, because we've got a problem. It's Kevin Owens' problem. Sami was like, look, I'm the only friend that Kevin Owens has got. And then Sami had to check himself and say, hang on. I mean, former friend. So, you can tell that Sami is still a bit conflicted about how he feels about Kevin Owens. But, Roman was saying, look, that's why we're going to do this match. It's going to be me. It's going to be Sami against Kevin Owens and a mystery partner. He can get whoever he wants. And pretty much as he was saying that, on screen appeared John Cena. John Cena said, I just got a text from my good friend Kevin Owens. And he said that for the past 20 years, I have had a match every year except 2022. So there's an opportunity for me to be Kevin Owens' partner on December 30th so that I can have a match in 2022. Am I going to take that opportunity? Yes, I am. And there we go, John Cena confirming that he will be Kevin Owens' partner. Brilliant. This whole show was so entertaining. There was constantly things happening, from a mystery person attacking Tegan at the start to the Bray segment where there was a big conversation about who is Uncle Howdy. Then we went into a banger of a match between Gunther and Ricochet. Then we went into, obviously, the backstage moment where we didn't know quite what was going to happen with Roman and the main event. Then we went into the botch of the year from Top Dolla. And then we go into this big final segment where we find out that John Cena is going to be that mystery partner. Really, really entertaining, solid show. For me, I'm going to be giving this about an 8 out of 10. This was one of those SmackDowns that you need to be watching. This was one of those SmackDowns that you don't want to have missed. So really entertaining stuff. And what's great is it sets up a big, big episode in 2 weeks' time. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.